This is Sharon with Enteleki Visions, and this is an energy update for the week of April 13th through April 19th. So we are now moving much deeper into this collective experience. And this point in this process is allowing us to really face ourselves in a very, very deep way. So you may find as we move even further into this, that more layers of your process are uncovered. That as we get quieter with ourselves or social distancing with other people, with our children, the edges that maybe were our triggers even before this all began are now arising, and they're coming up with even more potency right now. And this is all part of a balancing act that's occurring. That as we are moving through this, there's a great healing and a great recalibration that's taking place for ourselves and for the collective. So in this point, in this cocoon phase that we are in, that we have journeyed now into the cocoon, and we're kind of in that process where the caterpillar has prepared itself and it's built its cocoon around itself, and it's now residing in the cocoon for some time, that there is a phase in the metamorphosis process that is called the imaginal fluid, that a caterpillar actually completely disintegrates in a cocoon and turns into complete fluid. And this fluid is called imaginal fluid. So that's pure potential. It is no longer who it was, and it is not even yet who it is meant to be in the form of the butterfly. So there's this imagination phase, there's this creation phase, but also a release to everything that existed before it entered the cocoon. So we are in that point right now, where our old lives have been completely dismantled. The rug has been pulled out from under us, personally and collectively. And I know none of that is easy, that many are facing many challenges right now that are revealing a lot of difficulty and a lot of emotions. But within that space, we are learning to let go of some of the attachment that we may have or may have had related to our old lives, related to an old way of being. So it's really important now to find some acceptance within ourselves and some patience within ourselves towards this process that we're undergoing, and to let go of some of the attachment around possibly returning to how things were before this all began. That I keep hearing the phrase come up, can't wait until things get back to normal again. And things will not look the way they were. Things will look much, much different than before this all happened. So it's important to accept the present moment, to accept what's being let go of, to release all that is transpiring and changing in our lives. And a lot of that can be very heavy, because a lot of people are moving through difficulties around relationships, around job loss, around finances, around health, around loss of loved ones, around loss of friends. So a lot is being shifted, and each moment is a very testing and growth type of healing process as we're moving through all of this. But we can see it from a different perspective, that we can allow ourselves to embrace the potential and possibility of what all of this release is going to open up for us in the long term. So yes, this is a challenging period, and we can akin it to the concept of a dark night of the soul. And a dark night of the soul is a soul journey that on a personal level we move through that's usually catalyzed through a health crisis, a trauma, or some kind of loss or difficulty that we face in our life for a longer period of time, that allows us to awake to a new level of ourselves, a new level of spiritual growth that wouldn't have been attained if we hadn't undergone that dark night of the soul. So we are moving through a dark night of the soul collectively right now. So in that process, it may feel endless, and we may wonder, when is this going to complete? When is this going to shift? And when can we come back and return back to our lives again? Well, in the dark night of the soul, any period like that, it's important to have patience with the process. That we can't rush and we can't push things, because every single step and every single stage of the journey is an important part of the process. Just like the imaginal fluid within a cocoon in the metamorphosis cannot rush or push that stage, because a lot is being restructured. A lot is being reshaped to eventually remap and grow into the butterfly that caterpillar will be. So we can't rush the stage that we are in, because so much is occurring behind the scenes for our lives, in our bodies, in our energy fields, that is remapping us, reshaping us to create the potential for who we will be once we emerge out of our cocoon and we're ready to share with the world again. And know that that time is coming. Know that that emergence is soon, but to also not hold on to a date, to also not hold on to the future potential of getting out of this phase, but to allow yourself to lean in even more into the present moment, and to let yourself move through any kind of difficult healing process that you are encountering right now, because that's a necessary part of the phase. And there's a deep collective purging that's happening, and also a personal purging for our own lives. So any emotions that are arising, any challenges that you're facing, any triggers in your relationships, or any difficulties in your life path, your purpose, your finances, your career, your self-worth, all these things are being looked at right now under the microscope of this cocoon that we're in. So this is a very, very important part of the process, so that we can ultimately shift all of that, allow ourselves to gain new insight, new perspectives around all of these aspects. Because maybe these were triggers, maybe these were pieces of our life or pieces of ourself that we had neglected to really look at. Pieces of ourselves that we had shoved down and put away for another day because we didn't have the time to look at that. So we are now given the time to really dive into our muck. And that's not a fun process, not an easy process, but we're being forced to grow under these circumstances of friction right now. And ultimately, when you have a lot of friction, it eventually shines you. It shines you into a greater version of yourself, so that will emerge radiant, will emerge with greater light, with greater strength, courage, compassion, and we'll be ready to share our gifts in a completely new way, with new insight that will be a different form than who we were when we started this at the beginning. So do not rush, and also allow yourself to be gentle with any process that you're moving through. Yes, there will be challenging days. Yes, there will be good days. But know that on the challenging days, there will be hopeful ones. And on the hopeful ones, allow those to be strength to carry you through the challenging ones. But we're all moving through this together. And if you can remember that you are not alone, and this is a collective dark night of the soul a collective spiritual process of uncovering all of this, reshaping this, then you can remind yourself of how powerful that is, how massive of a transformation this is. This is a historical moment in time, and this should not be rushed. This should be moved through with the timing and patience that is needed to really emerge in a new way. Because what is really being occurred right now is the greatest gift that we've ever been given on the planet. So allow yourself to lean into that. Allow yourself to experience anything that's coming up for you right now. And any difficulty, just move into it even deeper. Fill it with more of your love, more of your compassion to help to shift it. We are undergoing a balance also on a collective level in nature as well, as we return to the awareness of our symbiotic relationship with Mother Earth and our planet, and realizing that we are one and the same, and how we have contributed to being part of this earth, and how we have contributed to maybe polluting this earth, or being sustainable or not sustainable, and our relationship as a humanity to nature. And all of this is finding some time to reset as well. That nature is finding her own path to her own healing right now. So this is a very important piece of the puzzle also. That we can't rush this because she needs that time to reset as well. So move into this experience and know that when it's time to emerge and we're ready to come back out again, that you will be a different person, that we will be a different humanity, that life will be very different. But we will use that insight, that wisdom that we have gained through this cocoon process to really create from that space, to build fresh, with new eyes, with new insight, with new connections to each other, and our hearts open wide because we went through something huge together. If you need additional support at this time, I'm still offering a special rate for remote sessions, intuitive healing sessions for 45 minutes. You can learn more about them on my site at entelechivisions.com, and I also have my regular services for remote sessions available as well. I hope that you have a wonderful week ahead. Hang in there. We've got this. Thank you for listening.